Welcome back. Today, we're diving into an exciting and valuable topic for coin collectors and enthusiasts, the most valuable France République 1 franc coins and United States quarter dollars, focusing on top 4 examples across different years, mint marks, and conditions. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, this guide will help you understand which coins can bring serious value and why. Let's get started. First up, the France République Française 1 franc coin from 1961, specifically in circulated condition. At first glance, this coin might look like just another old piece of pocket change, worn down by years of use. But for collectors and enthusiasts, even a circulated example can hold historical charm and, in some cases, surprising value. In this video, we'll explore its background, design, rarity, and what it could realistically fetch at auction in today's market. The 1 franc coin of 1961 was issued during a period of major monetary reform in France. In 1960, France introduced the nouveau franc, which replaced the old franc at a rate of 100. This reform was intended to stabilize the currency and restore public confidence after years of inflation. The 1961 coin is part of this early new franc series, making it historically significant as one of the first coins used in the reformed monetary system. It was minted under the Fifth Republic, during the presidency of Charles de Gaulle, a time when France was redefining its economic and political identity. The 1961 1 franc coin is known for its clean, modern design. On the obverse, you'll find the inscription République Française, often accompanied by a stylized depiction of the national emblem or allegorical imagery representing the French Republic. The reverse typically displays the denomination 1 franc along with the year 1961, surrounded by elegant typography and sometimes agricultural motifs like wheat ears, symbolizing prosperity. The coin was usually struck in nickel, giving it a silvery appearance. Even in circulated condition, these design elements remain visible, although wear may soften the finer details and reduce its visual sharpness. Here's where expectations need to be realistic. The 1961 1 franc coin is not considered rare in circulated condition. Millions were minted, and many survived due to their relatively recent age compared to older coins. In heavily worn or damaged condition, collector demand drops significantly. Most serious collectors prefer coins in uncirculated or near-mint condition, where the original luster and details are intact. However, there is still a niche market for circulated coins, especially among beginner collectors or those building historical sets. If the coin has unusual features like mint errors, off-center strikes, or unique toning, it could attract more attention even in worn condition. Now let's talk about what this coin is actually worth. In typical circulated condition, a 1961 France 1 franc coin usually sells for a very modest price, generally between 20 cents and $2. Yes, that's quite low, and it reflects the coin's high mintage and availability. If the coin is heavily damaged, scratched, bent, or corroded, it may only be worth its metal value or even less, often under $0.50. On the other hand, if you somehow have a well-preserved example with minimal wear, the value could rise slightly, possibly reaching $3 to $5. Exceptional cases, such as error coins or coins in near uncirculated condition, may fetch higher prices at specialized auctions, but those are the exception rather than the rule. If you're collecting coins like the 1961 1 franc, focus on condition whenever possible. Even a common coin can become desirable if it's in excellent shape. Store your coins in protective holders to prevent further wear, and avoid cleaning them, as this can reduce their value. It's also worth checking for mint errors or unusual variations, as these can significantly increase a coin's appeal. For beginners, circulated coins like this are a great and affordable way to start a collection focused on French currency or world coins. Over time, you can upgrade to higher grade examples as your budget allows. To sum it up, the France République Française 1 franc coin from 1961 in circulated condition is more of a historical collectible than a high-value treasure. While it doesn't command big prices at auction, it represents an important moment in France's monetary history and remains a meaningful addition to any coin collection. Its value may be modest in dollars, but its story is rich with economic reform and national identity. If you enjoy collecting coins for their history and design, this piece is definitely worth holding on to. And who knows, paired with other coins from the same era, it can help tell a much bigger story. Next up, the United States quarter dollar from 1972 in fine condition. At first glance, it may seem like just another everyday coin, but when you dig a little deeper into its history, condition, and market behavior, you'll discover that even a circulated 1972 quarter can hold surprising interest and value. In this video, we'll explore its background, standout features, rarity especially in worn or damaged condition, and what it's actually worth today in the collector market. The 1972 Washington Quarter is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series that began in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. By 1972, the US Mint had already transitioned away from silver coinage due to rising metal prices. This means the 1972 quarter is composed of a copper-nickel clad composition, rather than the 90% silver used before 1965. These coins were minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia No Mint Mark, Denver, and San Francisco S Mint Mark, mostly proof coins. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced hundreds of millions of quarters that year, making the coin very common in circulation at the time. However, decades of use have reduced the number of well-preserved examples, especially those still in fine condition, which adds a layer of collector interest today. The obverse of the coin features the familiar left-facing portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Around the portrait, you'll see Liberty at the top, In God We Trust to the left, and the date 1972 at the bottom on the reverse. The coin displays a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows, and olive branches, symbolizing strength and peace. Above the eagle is the inscription United States of America, with E pluribus unum just above the eagle, and $quarter below. In fine condition, the coin typically shows moderate wear. Washington's hair details are partially worn down, and the eagle's feathers may appear flattened. However, the main design elements remain clear and readable, which is key for collectors evaluating circulated coins. Now here's where things get interesting. The 1972 quarter is not rare in general. Millions were made, but condition plays a huge role in its desirability. Coins in heavily damaged condition, scratched, bent, or excessively worn, usually have little to no premium value beyond face value. However, even in damaged or heavily circulated states, certain factors can increase demand. For example, coins with minting errors, such as off-center strikes or double dies, can attract collectors even if they are worn. Additionally, some collectors seek out lower-grade coins to fill gaps in albums at an affordable price. That said, a standard 1972 quarter in damaged condition is typically not considered rare. The real collector demand begins when the coin is in better preserved grades or has unique characteristics. Let's talk numbers. A 1972 quarter in fine condition generally falls into the lower end of the value spectrum, but it still holds modest collector value. On average, a standard 1972 quarter in fine condition is worth around 30 cents to $1. Coins from the Denver Mint 1972 may sell for about 50 cents to $1.50. Depending on eye appeal, if the coin has exceptional detail for its grade or attractive toning, it could reach $2 to $5 in some cases. However, coins in damaged condition usually stay close to face value, 25 cents, unless they feature a rare error. Meanwhile, uncirculated or high-grade examples can jump significantly in value, sometimes reaching $10, $20, or more, especially if professionally graded. If you're thinking about collecting 1972 quarters or evaluating one you already own, there are a few important tips to keep in mind. First, always check the mint mark, as some versions are slightly more desirable than others. Second, pay close attention to condition. Even small differences in wear can impact value. It's also worth looking for errors or unusual features, as these can dramatically increase a coin's worth. Avoid cleaning your coins, as this can reduce their value in the eyes of collectors. Finally, consider storing your coins in protective holders to prevent further wear and preserve their condition over time. In conclusion, the 1972 Washington quarter in fine condition may not be a rare treasure, but it still holds a meaningful place in the world of coin collecting. Its historical significance, classic design, and accessibility make it a great entry point for beginners, while subtle variations and condition differences keep experienced collectors interested. While most examples are only worth a small premium over face value, the thrill of discovering a better grade coin or a rare error keeps the hunt exciting. So next time you come across a 1972 quarter, don't dismiss it too quickly. It might just be a small piece of history with a story to tell. Next up, the France République Française 1 franc, 1969, examined in very fine condition. At first glance, this coin might seem like an ordinary circulation piece, but when you look closer, it reveals a rich story tied to France's economic evolution, artistic heritage, and collector interest. In this video, we'll explore its background, unique features, rarity even in worn or damaged states, and its current market value in US dollars. The 1 franc coin of 1969 belongs to the era of the French Fifth Republic, a period marked by modernization and economic restructuring. Introduced as part of the new franc system in 1960, this coin replaced the old franc at a rate of 100 to 1, helping stabilize the French economy after years of inflation. By 1969, France was undergoing significant political and social change, following the events of May 1968. These coins were minted for everyday transactions, making them a common sight in wallets and markets across the country. Despite their widespread use, coins from this era now carry historical weight, especially for collectors interested in post-war European currency. The 1969 1 franc coin is admired for its clean and symbolic design. On the obverse, you'll find the classic depiction of Marianne, the national emblem of the French Republic, representing liberty and reason. The reverse features a stylized design with agricultural elements, symbolizing prosperity and unity. Typically struck in nickel, the coin has a silvery appearance and a sturdy feel. In very fine condition, the major design elements remain clearly visible, although some wear is noticeable on the high points, such as Marianne's hair and finer details of the reverse engraving. This level of preservation makes it appealing to collectors who want a balance between affordability and detail. Now here's something important: this coin is not considered rare in general terms. Millions were minted in 1969, so in heavily circulated or damaged condition, its value remains quite low. However, that doesn't mean there's no demand. Beginner collectors, history enthusiasts, and bulk coin buyers often seek these coins even in worn states. Damaged examples, those with scratches, corrosion, or heavy wear, are usually valued only slightly above face value or metal content. Still, if the coin has unusual characteristics, such as minting errors or unique toning, even a damaged piece could attract niche interest. Let's talk about the numbers. A 1969 France 1 franc coin in very fine condition typically sells in the range of 50 cents to $2, depending on eye appeal and market demand. Coins in lower, damaged condition may drop to 10 cents to 50 cents USD, often sold in bulk lots rather than individually. On the other hand, coins in extremely fine or uncirculated condition can reach $3 to $10 or slightly more, especially if graded or part of a high-quality collection. While it's not a high-value coin, its affordability makes it accessible and appealing to new collectors. If you're thinking about adding this coin to your collection, here are a few tips. First, always check the condition carefully. Look for clear details on Marianne and minimal surface damage. Second, consider buying from reputable dealers or coin shows to ensure authenticity. Third, if you come across bulk lots of French francs, they can be a great way to find better condition coins at a lower average cost. And finally, store your coins properly in holders or albums to preserve their condition over time, as even small improvements in preservation can impact value. In conclusion, the France République Française 1 franc 1969 may not be a rare treasure, but it holds undeniable historical and cultural significance. In very fine condition, it offers a great balance between detail and affordability, making it a solid entry point for collectors interested in French or European coins. While its market value in dollars remains modest, its story and design give it lasting appeal. If you enjoy collecting coins that connect you to history, this is definitely one worth having. Next up, the United States quarter dollar from 1967, specifically in fine condition and notably without a mint mark. At first glance, this coin might seem ordinary, but as we explore its history, unique characteristics, and market value, you'll discover why it still holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned numismatist, this episode will give you valuable insights into what makes this coin worth talking about. The 1967 quarter was minted during a very interesting period in U.S. coinage history. In the mid-1960s, the United States faced a major coin shortage. To address this issue and discourage coin hoarding, the U.S. Mint made a significant decision. From 1965 to 1967, all coins were produced without mint marks. This means that regardless of whether they were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, no mint identification appears on the coin. Additionally, 1967 quarters were made using a copper-nickel clad composition instead of the traditional 90% silver used before 1965. This change marked a new era in American coinage. The 1967 Washington quarter features the iconic profile of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan. The reverse showcases a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows, and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. What makes this coin unique is not just its design, but the absence of a mint mark, something unusual compared to most US coins. The clad composition gives it a slightly different appearance compared to earlier silver quarters, often showing a copper-colored edge when viewed from the side. In fine condition, the coin will show moderate wear, with visible details still present but slightly softened from circulation. Now, let's address rarity. Despite its historical significance, the 1967 quarter is not considered rare in general terms. Millions were minted due to the high demand at the time. However, collector interest can increase depending on condition, errors, or unusual features. In damaged or heavily circulated condition, the coin typically holds minimal collectible value. Still, some collectors seek even worn examples to complete date sets or for educational purposes. Coins with unique errors such as off-center strikes or double dies can significantly increase in value, even if the coin itself shows damage. When it comes to market value, a 1967 quarter in fine condition is generally worth around 25 cents to $1, depending on its exact state and eye appeal. Since it is a clad coin with no silver content, its intrinsic value remains low. However, coins in higher grades such as uncirculated or with special mint set finishes can fetch anywhere from $5 to $15 or more. Rare error coins or exceptional specimens can reach higher prices at auctions, sometimes exceeding $50 or even several $100s in unique cases. As always, condition and rarity play a major role in determining value. If you're interested in collecting the 1967 quarter, there are a few tips to keep in mind. First, always examine the coin carefully for errors or unusual features, as these can greatly increase its value. Second, try to collect coins in the best condition you can afford. Higher grade coins tend to appreciate better over time. Third, store your coins properly in holders or albums to prevent further wear or damage. And finally, stay informed by following auction results and coin market trends, as values can fluctuate based on demand. In conclusion, the 1967 United States quarter without a mint mark may not be the rarest coin out there, but it carries significant historical importance and remains a staple in many collections. Its connection to a unique period in U.S. minting history, combined with its distinctive features, makes it a coin worth appreciating. While its value in fine condition may be modest, the potential for higher worth through errors or exceptional quality keeps collectors interested. If you have one in your collection, take a closer look. You might just discover something special. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting insights.